Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Valerie and today I'm going to show you how to make a makeup bag. I know that many bloggers have made videos about making makeup bags, but today I want to show you my method. I'll also explain how to sew a makeup bag in the exact size you need, because many people just show how to sew a makeup bag but don't explain how to achieve the right size. Alright, let's get started with the tutorial.
So first, let's go over the size. Let's say you want to make a bag that when finished will be 18 centimeters in length, 8 centimeters in width, and 8 centimeters in height. This is actually the size I'll be sewing today. So our makeup bag consists of two rectangles. After cutting the corners, our rectangles will take this shape, where this segment is the length of the bag, this one is the height, and these two segments are the width. You can create a pattern by cutting off this axis right away, but I find it easier to first sew the rectangles together and only then trim the corners. So if you want a length of 18 centimeters, this segment should be 18 centimeters plus 1 centimeter seam allowances on each side, making it 20 centimeters. Next is the height segment. We need a height of 8 centimeters, so we mark 8 centimeters plus seam allowances of 1 centimeter on each side. This segment represents half of the bag's width. When we join the two rectangles, we'll get the full width. So if we need a width of 8 centimeters, we divide it by 2, making the segment 4 centimeters plus 1 centimeter seam allowance. This means our rectangle should be 30 by 20 centimeters. When it's time to cut the corners, remember to cut out a square that is half the final width of the makeup bag. Mine is 4 by 4 centimeters, excluding seam allowances. You can adjust these measurements to your own, and you'll get the size you want. Now let's move on to the materials we'll need for the makeup bag. For the main fabric, I choose Sherpa fabric. A makeup bag will also look great made from cotton, satin, especially with a printed design, plush, or denim. For the lining, I'm going to use solid colored calico. I'm also going to use batten to give the makeup bag more volume, and interfacing. This part is up to you. You can either just fuse the makeup bag with interfacing or quilt it with batten. I'll be doing both because my fabric is quite loose. We'll also need a zipper, which should be 5 centimeters longer than your fabric piece. My fabric piece is 30 centimeters, so the minimum zipper length should be 35 centimeters. But as you can see, my zipper is much longer. So we need to cut 4 pieces, 2 from the main fabric and 2 from the lining fabric. As I mentioned, the size of all the rectangles is 30 by 20 centimeters. So the first thing I'm going to do is interface the main pieces. I've cut a piece of interfacing, the same size as my main fabric piece, and now I'm going to place it on the wrong side of the fabric and press it with an iron. Next, I've cut a piece of batten slightly larger than my fabric piece, and I'm going to sew it around all the edges. If your fabric doesn't have a pile, you can also quilt it. Since my fabric has a pile, there's no point in quilting it, so I'm just going to sew around the perimeter. Then trim the excess. Now we can start assembling the makeup bag, beginning with attaching the zipper. First, we need to find the centers of our rectangles along the long side. Then transfer these markings onto the zipper. Mark the points where the piece begins, ends, and the center of the piece. Also, transfer these markings symmetrically to the other side of the zipper. Now, place the zipper face down to the right side of the main fabric, aligning the marks. Place the lining piece on top, also aligning it according to the marks. Now, make a stitch about 2 mm from the zipper teeth. I'm going to do this using a zipper foot. Don't forget to make back stitches at the beginning and end. Turn the fabric over and check if the zipper slider moves freely. You can also make a top stitch, but since it doesn't make much sense for my fabric, I skipped this step. Now sew the other side in the same way. The main fabric piece should be face to face with the zipper. Make sure the zipper closes smoothly. Next, I'm going to press the lining so that it doesn't get caught under the zipper. Now place the main fabric pieces right size together and place the lining pieces right size together. Pin them along the bottom edges. Leave the zipper half open. I didn't do this, so it was hard to unzip it after sewing the bottom edges. And sew a seam 1 cm from the edge. The lining pieces we won't sew all the way. We will leave an opening here for turning the back inside out. Sew about 5 cm on each side. Now fold the bag as I show and secure the sides with pins. And sew straight stitches 1 cm from the edges. Next, in each corner of the rectangle, cut out 4x4 cm squares. If you made a bag to your own size, cut out squares of that size. Measure the squares from the seam allowance. Then cut them out. Now, each of these corners needs to be aligned into a straight line. Turn the main fabric piece and form a straight line. Do the same with the corresponding corner of the lining piece. Then align and pin them together. Do this with all the corners. After you've pinned all the corners, make a 1 cm stitch at each one. Also trim the excess zipper. Now turn everything right side out through the opening we made in the lining, and you'll see how everything falls into place. All that's left is to close this opening. You can close it either with a blind stitch or by folding the seam allowances inward and sewing a straight stitch 1 mm from the edge. I don't really like hand sewing, so I'll choose the second option. And here's the finished makeup bag.
Wait a minute, baby. Before you walk out that door, I got something I want to say to you. That means so very much more.
I hope you liked this tutorial. If you did, you can give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next videos. Bye!